Love and Money, business models that support and benefit from the work of citizen scientists. Brought to you by openscientist.org, where getting started with citizen science is easy. 3 years ago, I tried to identify the key elements to successful citizen science projects. I presented my findings in 2012, including the major one that the strongest correlation for citizen science projects is the availability of a reward. This concept of reward was meant broadly, meaning either a cash reward or an in-kind reward, such as touring a lab or gaining advanced access to a paper. But it had to be tangible. Less tangible rewards such as increased knowledge or volunteer satisfaction were not included. But why rewards? Well, as a famous man once said, science is a wonderful thing if you don't have to earn one's living at it. With rewards, we can at least start to pay back citizen scientists for all their hard work, even if we can't provide them a full living yet. But more specifically, how does providing rewards help citizen science? Well, from the citizen scientist's point of view, it starts with a level of acknowledgement and respect offered a person when your words of thanks are backed up with something real. It does not have to be cash. It can be some other in-kind reward, but it has to be something that the participant knows is real. But the cost of rewards bring other benefits too. It is a great lure to help people notice and join a project. Then, once they start working with you, it helps keep them more engaged, especially if additional rewards come as progress is made. They can also help build retention, helping projects keep people involved and avoiding the problem many researchers have when once excited participants stop showing up. Finally, there's the fairness aspect of it. Researchers are saving millions of dollars each year based on the work of these dedicated amateurs, and both people and companies stand to profit from the impacts of this research. So it's only fair that they receive some sort of compensation for their effort, or at least acknowledgement and respect. Of course, the presence of rewards does not just help citizen scientists. It can help businesses too, because when there are financial rewards, there are profits. And when there are profit opportunities, you find businesses, whether they are directly connected to it or not. Take the example of Levi Strauss. After the discovery of gold in California, people flocked from across the country to try their hand at manning in an attempt to become rich. In essence, a new field opened up, and they all wanted to collect a reward, gold, for their effort. But this didn't just attract miners. It also attracted businesses hoping to tap that market of people heading west. One of those was Levi Strauss, who first gained success as a dry goods store owner selling supplies to the new miners. They brought few clothes with them, and those they had were quickly torn from all the rugged labor. From this came an idea for strengthening denim pants with rivets, and a fortune was made. Not by a hard-working gold seeker, but by a savvy businessman following the trail of rewards. And to the mutual benefit of those miners too, who now had much improved jeans. In much the same way, there are many fantastic opportunities for businesses to enter and help support the growing market of citizen science research. There are literally millions of people in the U.S. alone helping with wildlife observations and water sampling, just to name two areas, but there are very few tools or equipment designed for them. Some may have been put together by well-meaning nonprofits, and others may have been adapted from existing professional tools. But there's a huge market for innovative companies willing to design and market these products, also just to help organize and manage these projects. Additionally, on the flip side, with the open innovation concept of tapping the public for new ideas spreading through industry, citizen scientists are the perfect people to engage. They are organized, eager, and have proven their ability to perform publication-worthy data. They also have a widely diverse set of skills and experiences, exactly the place to find out-of-the-box thinking that open innovation is designed to spark. And the best part is these two build upon each other. The more citizen science can help industry, the more support can be provided by industry. And once businesses are rewarding citizen scientists for their effort, that provides money to purchase all those newly available supplies and equipment. They build upon one another, a virtuous cycle that brings in precious capital to support those efforts. As the field grows, so do the benefits. As industry opens its door to citizen science contribution, it gives those amateurs the chance to work in whole new sets of problems and data sets, adding a whole new type of reward. But how do we get there? Specifically, what can scientists do that create value and then reap the rewards from for-profit businesses? I started to answer that at the 2015 Citizen Science Conference, and there are three basic approaches I recommend. The first is the traditional research model. Citizen scientists can act as paid participants, getting a few dollars to look for wildlife in an environmentally and economically sensitive area. This may be low-value work, but their effort is worth something. However, if they happen to find a certain species that their chosen ecosystem is endangered, thus being off limits to development, or finds the opposite, allowing for commercial use of that area, there is a value to that observation. So a business or researcher may place a bounty on finding a certain type of warbler, let's say. In that case, the first person to bring proof of that valuable word wins a $5,000 prize. Citizen scientists can also organize their own environmental work on that ecosystem in a more independent way as a general environmentalist. Finally, a company can sponsor a challenge project looking for someone to solve a specific problem. This is the solver approach currently pioneered by Incentive and similar companies, and which holds value for many people. The second model looks at the activities surrounding citizen scientists. This includes writing about citizen science issues and then being supported by affiliates or ad sales. Creating and selling educational materials using or about citizen science to help people who are getting involved in those projects. Working as a consultant based on your citizen science experience, or just striking out on your own as an entrepreneur, attempting to monetize your own citizen science research. Either citizen scientists or existing businesses can enter these markets. It just depends on how one approaches the various opportunities. The third model includes activities that support citizen science. This includes selling a service that helps researchers design citizen science projects, or developing and organizing a network of citizen scientists trained in a given field that can be made available to interested workers needing the help. It can be selling analysis services to citizen scientists. For example, those who do water quality testing in their backyards but can only perform 2/3 of the tests needed to survey the water. They need somebody else to provide that additional analysis work. And finally, manufacturing. Developing the new types of equipment that may specifically be used by citizen scientists and can help them with their research. There are many potential opportunities in all these areas, and a few pioneers have already begun trying, and we can learn from what they're doing. For example, the firm uBiome sells analyses of gut bacteria to people interested in their own physiology, and they do so at a profit. They sell their service to the citizen scientists. Similarly, there are firms that collect networks of volunteer experts, including citizen scientists, that they can then draw on to support the client researchers needing insights from the open innovation space. So a company needs to get some out-of-the-box thinking. They go to these brokering type firms and have them identify experts or citizen scientists who already have knowledge in that field to help them with a certain problem. But these just aren't pie-in-the-sky ideas. These are proof of concepts, but it opens the door to many still unexplored opportunities that are just waiting to be discovered. But why for-profit businesses and not nonprofits? This question comes to me a lot, especially from the citizen science community that right now has been raised in the academic and the nonprofit world. For one, I think it provides a clarity of focus. After all, when you put dollars to activities, people very quickly learn to differentiate the valuable from the non-valuable activities. It also offers a source of capital to invest in services that support the field, as well as to the scientists themselves so they can continue to support their own self-sustaining research. It's also a huge motivator for growth, using a profit motive to support the current work done solely for environmental, personal, or other less tangible reasons. But ultimately, it boils down to one thing: delivering and showing value. Nothing will be successful in the citizen science or for-profit world unless it can do those two things. So to sum it all up, here are some wise words from Scott Hubbard, the former director of the NASA Ames Research Center. History teaches us that without a trailing edge of commercial exploitation and profitability, exploration as large-scale, routine human endeavor will not exceed. This is true for space and is true for citizen science as well. Now it's up to us to make it succeed.